To a generation of hip-hop fans, Tupac Shakur was a legend, an inspiration. To others, he was a villain, the embodiment of hip-hop's dangerous effects on young minds. To those who knew him personally, he was a complicated person, but someone who was filled with passion, always looking to use his immense talents for the betterment of his loved ones and his community. In her 2024 book, Tupac Shakur, The Authorized Biography, Staci Robinson gives readers an intimate look at Shakur's short but extraordinary life in all its complexities. Robinson is a highly credible author whose work includes executive producer credits on the FX series Dear Mama, the saga of Afeni and Tupac Shakur. Containing first-hand accounts from those who knew him best, this book presents the story of Tupac in a way that will make readers feel like they knew him too. Hey, it's Matt. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Loud Lit. This show is all about recommending books that will help you gain a deeper appreciation for the music and the musicians you love. This is episode 2, so if you're tuning in for the first time, make sure you go back and listen to episode 1 on the amplified Come As You Are, a biography of Nirvana by author Michael Azerrad. And yes, even though I'm a huge fan of 90s music, I will cover books from other eras. There's one on Jimi Hendrix coming up very soon. By the way, if you want to read this book or any others, head to the bookshop link in the show notes. When you do, you're supporting independent booksellers. Forget about Amazon. This is going to help booksellers in local communities like yours. It's hard to believe it's been almost 30 years since Tupac's death. He accomplished so much in just 25 years, and Staci Robinson does a tremendous job of capturing how he grew to be so ambitious. Largely, it was because of the influence of his mother, Afeni Shakur. Robinson opens the book by detailing the story of Afeni's work with the Black Panthers, acting as her own defense attorney in the famous Black Panther 21 trial. She did so not only lacking legal expertise, but also while she was pregnant with Tupac and enduring inhumane conditions in prison. Afeni's tenacity and activist spirit were clearly a major, lasting influence on Tupac. There are also big reasons for the love and respect he had for his mother, who would become the subject of one of his biggest hits, the heartfelt Dear Mama. Although she wasn't perfect and made mistakes along the way, her children grew up knowing they were loved and that they were capable of rising above the poverty into which they were born. They did so not only with their mother, but also with a close-knit extended family. Robinson takes her time detailing Tupac's childhood, highlighting the people and events that led him to be the artist the world would come to know. Don't rush through the chapters on the early years. These accounts allow you to see on the pages of the book a creative mind developing. As we watch Shakur's career as a musician, poet, and actor unfold, we also see what a complicated person he was. Robinson demonstrates her journalistic integrity by showing, without telling, about the many sides of Tupac's personality. Even though she had come to know Tupac's mother as a friend, she doesn't interject her own thoughts very much. For example, Tupac cared deeply about social justice, but his tendency to let his temper get the better of him often got him into dangerous situations that hindered his ability to make lasting change. Throughout the book, we see Tupac gradually grow depressed and paranoid as the fame and fortune he worked so hard for lead to negative media attention and public beefs with former friends, most notably the Notorious B.I.G. Pac's song Hit 'Em Up took diss tracks to a whole new level, fueling the flames of the already volatile East Coast-West Coast rap feud. From his youthful hot-headedness to his infamous trial and imprisonment, Robinson reports with as little bias as possible, letting the reader feel however they feel. Me, I had lots of mixed feelings, at times feeling sorry for Tupac, and at other times acknowledging that so many of his problems were the results of unforced errors. This book allowed me to see Shakur as a complex human being, just like we all are. Of course, the closing chapters are a tough read, not only because they describe a 25-year-old's murder, but also because they remind you of all Tupac's unrealized potential. Yes, he accomplished a ton during his brief life, but toward the end, Robinson includes a list of goals Shakur had set for himself, stretching beyond his abilities as a musician and actor. His ideas were as far-ranging as a cartoon about himself and his fellow rappers to organizations that help youth who are living in poverty. Robinson shows us how much more art and activism Tupac had left in him, making his death all the more heartbreaking. If you're a Tupac fan, you need to read Tupac Shakur, The Authorized Biography. Thanks to interviews with his friends, family, and other hip-hop artists, you're sure to learn something new and possibly see this influential musician in lights not previously shown to the public. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe so you can keep getting music book recommendations. And if you want your own copy of Tupac Shakur, The Authorized Biography, click the bookshop link in the show notes. When you do, you'll be supporting Loud Lit as well as independent booksellers. Until next time, keep reading, keep rocking.